Here we go. TopaV, MaDreamdy, getting into round one with these guys. We've got pre-bans coming out very shortly. Curious to see what these guys are going to be pre-banning.
First pick going to Topa. Interested to see if we see the Sierra ban, but there it is. There's the Yunhong ban instead. Topa taking away the Water Ryu. Does not want MaDreamdy to have that opportunity for a counter speed lead.
Yeah, but definitely expected to see the Yunhong pre-ban here. And the Water Ryu pre-ban, I'm actually not surprised by. I think MaDreamdy really likes a lot of additional damage units, and TopaV is going to be taking one of those units away from him. It's going to be the Okeanos. MaDreamdy hovering over that Ganymede that TopaV also really likes to draft. So you can tell these two have been doing a lot of homework on each other.
Yeah, I like that they're breaking up each other's like standard drafts. Gani, Oki being one of the strongest both last year and this year, and throughout many of the metas and many of the seasons. Yeah, only just really amplified by the fact that additional damage exists, even with that Okeanos nerf. So MaDreamdy locks in the Sierra, denies the speed lead opportunity for Topa here.
Yep, definitely like that Gani Ciara draft here. We've seen these three units as first and second picks just like this right now. We've seen it all the time. And now we've got a Vanessa, interesting Vanessa coming out of TopaV, and he's also going to lock in the Chung Pung.
I guess he just really wants to contend for that turn one. Not too worried about not taking the Lulu. Doesn't really feel like a TopaV style. So he's going for that aggressive comp. Has the Vanessa set up for the speed lead for turn one. MaDreamdy responds, taking Cardinal and Juno, taking his double element in each slot. It's actually, it looks quite nice. It's an aesthetic pick setup, but both of these are incredibly strong versus this team that Topa's got.
Yeah, most definitely. I really like the Connell and the Juno coming out from MaDreamdy. TopaV looking to respond. He's going to be showing a Masha and a Fran. Is he going to be locking in that Beast Rider, having 3 fire units on his side of the field?
I actually really like this Masha here. I think the Masha is very effective. It's both effective against the Gani pushback and the Cardinal pushback, but really does have the potential to one-shot that Juno depending on the speed tuning, if MaDreamdy does run Will or not on his Juno.
Definitely going to be finding out. The combination with the Vanessa and the Masha is fantastic. If Masha does get dismounted and killed, it will come back on its Beast Rider as well. So maybe the combination with seeing this Vanessa on the field may make a lot of sense. And we've got a Pontos coming out from MaDreamdy.
Interesting to see the Pontos. I was expecting a Chiwu there, possibly looking towards banning the 33% speed lead on Topa's side, trying to take the turn one, having 2 strippers set up. But maybe there's something else here. Maybe this Pontos is the key to victory. Could be denying the damage, or maybe the AoE strip on Topa's side.
And it looks like he is going to be banning out that 33 speed lead from TopaV. Pontos is going to be banned out on the side of MaDreamdy, but he still has a speed lead in his box here with the Ciara. And we've got a 10% speed lead coming out for Fran. Very interesting leader skills going on here. And here we go, guys. We've got MaDreamdy, we've got TopaV in their first match together.
When a very fast Gani takes first turn outspeeding, but the Juno follows up, and the Cardinal to move in next. Misses the strip on 2, though. Does not get the Fran, probably the most crucial unit of all here.
Yeah, Fran definitely being the most crucial unit here. He needed to strip that with the Juno and didn't receive it here. We've got Masha coming up next, looking to pile in some big damage on top of that Ganymede. Ganymede's still doing all right, but with the Death Break sitting on top of him.
Oh, MaDreamdy goes for the bomb on the Chung Pung to try to take it on the first turn, but doesn't manage to land. It gets the dodge, going in to rotate with additional turns. Doesn't actually have crit on his Sierra, though. Only 1 crit out of 3.
I'm just not surprised about the miss bomb anymore with the CR. It just seems like such a natural thing at this point. Well, we can see the MaDreamdy's trying to target out and focus down this Chung Pung here, and is kind of going to be able to finish it off. I know those dots will, and we've got Ciara finishing it off here.
Interesting to note here, though, MaDreamdy actually has a ton of additional damage on that Cardinal. It's a bit interesting and maybe kind of weird to see that the Sierra is actually not focused on crit. A high damage bomb Sierra is not something we see commonly, but it could be just the right strategy. I don't know if Topa noticed that, but maybe he needs to keep that in mind for future drafts.
Yeah, well, TopaV looking a little low right now, going with the Rain of Stones. We'll see how much damage this could produce here. Obviously, we're going to get a heal coming out of this Juno. Does he choose to target out the Ganymede? Goes for the reset on top of the Connell, and we're going to keep piling more damage on top of that Ganymede. I think he needs to start evening it out here.
Entirely denying that ventilate into the Cardinal. Really good play from the Okeanos, and the extra turn just shows how fast the Violent Rune's there on TopaV's side. Manages to have that crazy fast, really good Oki, but also on Violent. Bomb comes up from Sierra, but she's attack broken, so it might not actually kill here.
We'll see about that, and it does deal a lot of damage. It is looking low. We've got the Seal of Magic coming out on top of that Fran. Not looking good at all for TopaV. Not sure he's going to be able to come back from this.
Basically over now. The control, no Fran, no heal. That Juno's going to manage to solo through the end, but I don't think it matters because there's so many units alive on the field still that it's going to be looking pretty rough for Topa here.
Well, TopaV's definitely going to be taking his time here because he's one to have all the experience inside these SWCs. He's already thinking about his next draft. He's thinking about what's going to be possibly coming towards him in the following match here. And MaDreamdy is definitely taking round 1 away. Well, let's see if TopaV reads into that from last match. Definitely took enough time to think about what he wanted to pre-ban here. And we're definitely taking a lot of time here going into the second round pre-bans again.
There it is. There's the Fire Bison ban. The Cardinal takes it away from MaDreamdy, realizes that it's the tough thing. Then one of the most interesting things about Topa is how well he adjusts between matches. He's always, he's a veteran in SWC. He's a veteran on Twitch. He's a veteran when it comes to playing the game. One of the most consistent high win rates. I firmly believe that he will be able to take this draft.
I really hope so, but MaDreamdy taking that unit that everybody seems to want in the first round may hurt TopaV a little bit, but let's see if he can bounce back after not having an Okeanos going into his round 2.
I really like MaDreamdy's draft, knowing he's going to take the Oki, denies the speed lead opportunity of the Sierra from Topa, possibly leaning into maybe a Despair Water Ryu here or more, maybe also considering a Chungpung opportunity into Topa here.
Yeah, I really like Yeonhung and Ganymede. These are two key units that work very, very well together with the Charge Vitality and with that Ventilate with the second skill. Definitely like to see TopaV. This is his bread and butter going into the second match.
Oh, interesting, though. MaDreamdy takes the Pontos and the Savannah right away, takes the speed lead, and gets that deny, really. I think Topa was probably leaning towards picking the Savannah, but he just takes it away. The Savannah combination for the first turn strip into an AoE with that Yeonhung boost is pretty devastating.
Oh, TopaV hovering over a Chungpung Masha does lock it in. Water Ryu is coming out from MaDreamdy with 2 speed leads on his team.
I like the Water Ryu here, the double speed lead opportunity. I'm not quite sure if his last pick here leans towards picking another heavy damage dealer or possibly just taking a Heigang. Jogun could also work in this situation too.
Let's see what MaDreamdy is going to be wrapping it up here. He's got that Water Ryu, and it's going to be paired right next to that Heigang. Exactly what you said.
There we go. I was a little unsure if he wanted to go for the more defensive style. He is a game up, so he could play it a little safer. Topa's going to definitely lock in a Diana here. A lot of damage. 2 water units, a wind unit, and a light unit. Most likely seeing that Okeanos ban. Possibly though, seeing the Savannah ban.
Yeah, I think definitely possible ban on the Savannah, but Okeanos always being a very strong ban potential unit. TopaV finishing up with that Diana. I think I am definitely a fan of seeing this Diana here.
Yeah, it's the biggest downside to picking the double water at the end there. When you already have a neutral and a wind, you're really afraid of that Diana. So there it is. There's the ban on the Diana, and the Okeanos goes as well.
Yep, definitely. I think that was going to be a 5th pick ban coming out of MaDreamdy, but here we go, guys. Getting into a round 2 with MaDreamdy and TopaV. TopaV needs to win this one to stay in it.
Hopefully, MaDreamdy has high accuracy on a Savannah here because Topa did pick up that 48 resistance lead from the Yeonhung.
Is that going to be strong enough to hold off this Water Ryu? Water Ryu did strip some buffs here, though. Ganymede still remains with his will.
Quite a bit of attack bar reduction as well. Not bad performance from the Water Ryu.
Not bad at all, for sure. We're going to see the strip coming out of Heigang, glancing being applied on Yeonhung and 2 others.
Oh, and there it is. The defense break on 4, the pushback on 2. Pontos does have the immunity, but might go for the silence here. Might go for the aggressive play. Plays it safe. Goes for the immunity and the invincibility, but the extra turn.
Massive extra turn, really capitalizing on it. Able to deal a little bit of damage to everyone as well. Getting the silence on everybody except Yeonhung and Masha.
Chungpung not getting that value. No skill 2 available for him. Masha does get the turn though, but everyone's invincible, so there's not a lot that she can do here.
Yeah, definitely not. Looking for some attack bar pushback on top of Yeonhung. Not receiving it though, but we're going to see some damage come out to the Chungpung. Chungpung does get knocked here. I think the Charge Vitality's got to go on to the Masha. He has to get this unit back up.
It's too bad that the additional attack bar boost from Charge Vitality actually doesn't benefit the Masha here. The extra turn into invincibility does really nothing for him. And reapplying the attack break is going to pressure this Masha really heavily.
He really needed that additional turn coming out of Ganymede. We get the Ventilate back onto the Yeonhung.
This is actually looking like a pretty even match again. Topa might actually be able to bring it back. There's no immunity up for MaDreamdy. Here comes the defense break. Fastlink lands it.
Not as much damage as I was expecting to see with this Masha. The attack break being very, very strong on him. Pontos almost dismounting the Masha, getting the additional turn for invincibility and immunity coming out.
just barely holds on. MaDreamdy with the Violent proc does protect himself. And Yunhong misses another strip on the Savannah. Savannah with that Resistance Awakening working out just as intended.
It really is not working out at all for TopaV. He could have used the attack bar gain if he had stripped those buffs, but not receiving it is devastating. We get that second skill in another additional turn coming out of this Pontos.
Looking pretty grim. The glancing, the attack break on the Masha does deny a ton of damage, but the other thing is MaDreamdy doesn't have a lot of damage out in his turn. Needs a defense break from the Savannah, which could come up soon, so he needs to be careful. Topa needs to live through this.
He needs to. If Masha gets not dismounted here, and I believe it will, and it did. Definitely not looking good for TopaV. That's a lot of damage that he needed to stay mounted up here.
Even with any additional turns here for the Yunhong, it's not going to be enough. Noting she was on Swift, so it's going to be tough. Masha's going to go down. Water View with the big damage. Savannah with the skill 3 to finish. Here we go.
I think this is it right here. MaDreamdy with a lot of control, a lot of safe plays, a lot of additional turns coming out of that Pontos confirms that victory. MaDreamdy is going to be moving forward.